Good day, grade 12. Today, unfortunately, is our last paper 3 session. Just like hopefully your paper 3 will be the last paper you're going to write. But remember what I've been telling you in our past few sessions, that you need to be prepared. Even though this paper is going to be the last paper and it's going to tire you out, the whole examination itself, please always be prepared for this question paper. Now, like I've said always, we need to look at one thing that paper 3 requires. And that is the main element in the paper, thinking, and obviously thinking. So you need to go into that exam venue with an open mind, clear thoughts, and ready to go and attempt this question paper. Because thinking is going to allow you to get the best marks possible. And please think before you ink. Right, we'll continue. And then today our focus will be on section C. Prior to today's session, we focused on section A, our essays, section B, transactional writing, and now today we'll focus on section C, which is your transactional writing, right? So here we have question 3, and we'll just quickly focus on the instructions. It tells you to choose one of the following topics and to write a short transactional text. The body of your response should be between 80 and 100 words. And here you need to focus on these 80 to 100 words, not more and not less. Answer your question sticking to the word count. That is why planning is important. Write down the number and the heading of the text you have chosen. For example, 3.1, you will see in the activity we're going to do today. 3.1 would be the diary entry. Please ensure that you read this before you attempt it. Now, the last bullet says spend approximately 30 minutes. Grade 12, you do not need 30 minutes to complete the section. It could be less if you know your format, if you know what you need to do, and if you plan. Now, in our last session, I told you that you need to fart. And as funny as it sounds, you need to fart. And please do not do this in the exam venue. But to fart, you need to do the following. You need to know your format. If your format is correct, we cannot penalize you on that. Because remember, when we give you the mark for the content, the format plays a role. So know your format. The second thing you need to do, or need to know, is your audience. Now pay attention to this. If I analyze my topic, I'm going to be able to know, for example, the speech. I'll be able to identify my audience. So my audience is going to either be, for example, if I'm going to present a speech to the school, my audience would be my teachers and my fellow learners, right? So obviously, I would then stick to a formal register. Now I'm going to stick to a formal register. But if I'm going to speak to my friend in a dialogue, my audience is my friend and my register would be informal, casual, because it is my friend. So it's important that I note those 3. And then the last one, obviously, is the tone. Now here, grade 12, the tone is important because I'm not going to shout at my parents, am I? So I'm not going to utilize an exclamation mark. So the tone is important, and this brings us back to farting. You need to fart. If you forget everything I've said, that morning you write the paper 3, remember you need to fart. And please, don't do it literally. Right, so let's continue. Our very first format that we focus on is the poster or the flyer. Obviously, I've told you up until this point, we note we need to analyze the topic. This is going to tell me what I need to answer. So I'm going to note I need to answer the question or topic, analyze and interpret what is being asked. So most of the time, our posters and flyers or even advertisements focus on things such as we're going to have a car wash, a cake sale to assist, for example, the old age home with a wheelchair. So the focus is the car wash we're going to have to raise funds to assist the old age home. The focus is not the old age home. So you need to be able to analyze this topic. Make use of emotive and persuasive language, because through this, you are going to get people to come and bring their cars to get washed, or they're going to come to the cake sale. They're going to come because you made use of emotive and persuasive language. And then lastly, I cannot stress this enough, there should be no drawings or any sketches for a poster, a flyer, or an advertisement, because that is not the focus but the content. So you need to stick to these steps that I've just given to you. Our next focus, directions. It's very easy to give someone directions because I'm just going to send my location via WhatsApp. But when I have to physically write it out, it becomes difficult. So our notes tell us it should be short and concise, emphasize starting and end points. So I need to tell my friend who is going to come to my house from school, so school would be the starting point. My end point would be my home, the Peach House number 5. Those are the things I need to focus on, emphasizing this. Landmarks should be included. For example, church, schools. This gives your friend or anybody giving directions to an indication of what to look out for. If there's a KFC on the left-hand side, then I need to tell my friend, on the left-hand side, you will find a KFC. But now here the problem comes in grade 12. If I, for example, stay in the location, and there are 12 containers on this main road, and my friend needs to take the main road, automatically I cannot say, by the blue container, turn left. Because on the left-hand side of the road, there could be 3 blue containers. So it would mean my friend would take the wrong turn. And we wouldn't want to take the wrong turn. We all know that movie. So please be very clear and concise when you state these directions, these landmarks. Give a proper indication where to go. The other one would be the directional words. Obviously, turn left or right. On the left-hand side, you will find the church. But you indicate what church. On the right-hand side, those are the words I'm going to use, directional words. Opposite you, you will find across the road. Directional words are important for directions. And then indicate the distance. Tell your friend you will now continue 4 kilometers. You can even indicate time and say the distance from school to my home would be about 3 kilometers. It will take you about 2 minutes. Indicate the time as well. It will contribute to that word count, right? And then instructions. This is my favorite, grade 12, because it's simple to give someone instructions. Very clear we can give this, but we can also do it wrong. And then the person follows the wrong instructions. At home, mom tells you do this. We don't always do what mom tells us to do. Or we do it, but we do it in our own way, not in their way. But with instructions, we need to ensure we provide it properly. So it should be clear and concise. It can be in a list, it can be in numerical form, or in a paragraph form. Provide a heading or indication of the instructions. For example, instructions for making tea. Right? So your little sister for Mother's Day wants to make tea for your mom. Provide instructions. Now here, it needs to be in a logical sense. You cannot tell your sister to switch on the kettle. How does he or she know that there's enough water in the kettle? So for example, you tell her or him, depending on the sibling that's going to ask, to switch on the kettle. And there's no water in it. The element of the kettle is going to burn. So logical sequence. So she needs to get water into the kettle first. And then she's going to take the cup out of the cupboard. But now indication, which cupboard? Yes, we can assume she knows the cupboard. If she does not, indicate that. Logical sequence, right? So there needs to be an order that the person needs to follow. For example, you are the manager of a business, but you're going away on a holiday and you've indicated to one of the staff members they will take over. automatically, the very first thing you need to indicate to him or her is open the store at a certain time. Because you cannot tell the person to watch the workers and tell the workers to do this, but you haven't indicated what time the store should open. So please pay attention to this. We will now look at analyzing and interpreting the instructions. Now, this is a total different type of instruction that is given. It can also become confusing. It says here, your cousin will be getting married soon. Focus on that. Your cousin will be getting married soon. He or she has asked you to look for a suitable venue for the wedding and has given you a set of instructions to follow when choosing the venue. What is the instruction? Write the instructions that you were given, which means our main focus here, grade 12, is the venue. Nothing else of the fact that they are getting married or that there's going to be a wedding, but you are going to look at a venue for this wedding or a suitable venue which is given to you. So my first step would be, when I analyze this and I need to indicate now, I'm going to give a topic line, right? So my topic line would indicate instructions when searching for a wedding venue. Now I need to look for the following. Remember, my cousin gave me these instructions. So the first thing my cousin could have possibly said was, number one, the venue should accommodate or should be able to accommodate 400 people. It's going to be a big wedding, right? It's going to accommodate 400 people. So obviously, if that is the first step for 400 people, and we'll erase the first one until we go on to the next, we notice 400 people. So the second one would be what? Obviously, the venue should include, so it would include seating for 400 people. Now I'm going to focus on the seating for 400 people. That's my second step. Let's continue, and we'll continue to number 3. Catering should be included. Right? So catering should be included. So I note, grade 12, that these are the instructions my cousin is going to give me. Number 4 could be that there would be accommodation for them to get dressed. Right? So they would like to get dressed at the venue, and clearly these would be of the instructions. These are the things I'm going to look for that my cousin provided to me. So I know, indicate seating or include seating for 400 people. Catering should be included, accommodation to get dressed. And there are so many other instructions that could be included looking for this particular wedding venue. Obviously, if I'm looking for 400 people, I need parking for 400 people. If catering is included, I need to ensure that the decoy is included. So those are the instructions I'm going to look for when choosing this particular venue. Now, the cousin did not ask you to choose the venue. This list is an indication that you had to now go and search for various venues, but she's looking for one which would be suitable. So she provided you this list. You follow this list to find the venue. Please do not confuse this with a wedding invitation. This is instructions given to you, and it is important that you analyze it appropriately to answer the question. To practice this, find yourself on the DBE website more question papers, which includes instructions where you can provide clear and concise instructions. And note, I need to answer the question. To answer the question, I need to analyze the topic. So please stick to that. The next one for today, the invitation. You see what I did there? We first had instructions for a wedding, and now we have an invitation. Now, with the invitation, it should include obviously the date, venue, and time. If you provide me with an invitation that says 19 September and there's no year, you could be getting married in any year then on the 19th of September, even if you give it in 2020. Don't assume that the person knows. So indicate the proper date. When I provide the venue, grade 12, provide the address. Because, and this is what you can also do, you provide the venue and the name of the street, it's an indication. Or you can say, the map is included. So obviously this person will not get lost. Indicate the proper time, so that the person knows this is where I'm going on this particular date and this is the time I need to be there. We hate people to be late at any function. Indicate the type of event or function. Now, just to stop here, obviously we get different types of events or functions. So our invitation would be different. If you're going to invite me to your birthday party, it's not going to be formal as a wedding party. You understand what I'm saying? So you need to understand that here, once again, when we come back to that register, language should be applicable to the context. Include other information such as RSVP, contact details, and like I said, language should be suited to the context. It's very easy to get 80 to 100 words within an invitation if you use your words. Use your words and you'll be able to get there. But your focus should be type of event or function. And it will help you. It will help you a lot to get to the amount of words. Now let's look at an invitation. A famous local actor will be addressing members of your school's drama club. As chairperson of the organizing committee, you are expected to invite drama clubs from the neighboring schools to the event. Write the invitation card. Note, do not include illustrations or drawings. You will not get a mark for this. So, a famous local actor will be addressing members of your school's drama club. So we note the first thing I need to look for is who's going to be the famous local actor. That's the first thing. So I need to identify that. The second thing, you are now inviting drama clubs from the neighboring schools to this event. So obviously, because you are the chairperson of the organizing committee, you need to now understand this is an formal invitation. So the way I'm going to address the individual or the individuals who will receive this invitation should be in a formal tone. Keeping in mind, you are a scholar sending an invitation to another school or to neighboring schools. Automatically, the first person to receive this would either be the principal or the teacher in charge of this drama club. So my language is formal. Writing out the invitation card would include the following. The very first thing, a famous local actor. Keeping in mind, local. So I cannot inform the people that Idris Elba is going to be there. How is he a local actor? He's famous, but not local. So focus on that part that says a famous local actor. That's the first thing I'm going to mention. The second thing I'm going to mention would obviously be the date, the time, and obviously the venue. So I'm going to indicate and state hereby the drama club of Skooljaar Secondary invites you to attend a talk with, let's think of a famous local actor. Famous local actor in the Malmesbury area, let me think. Jurgen McEwen, right? So now I know famous local actor. Malmesbury, Skooljaar Secondary, I'm inviting neighboring schools. Grade 12, automatically, we've seen him on television, so the school would be interested. And he's involved in drama. He's in plays, he's in storylines, he's been on television. So automatically, I'm going to invite him. And the school will receive the invitation, will note, we know him and we want to be there. Now what do I provide? I provide the date, the time, and obviously the venue would be the school hall, for example. And you indicate now the rest of the other information. For example, they need to RSVP by this particular date to your educator or to you. So indicate the information. That is important. Like I've just said with the instructions, analyze the topic and you'll be able to answer the question, getting a good mark out of 20. Right, we'll move on to my all-time favorite, a diary entry. Now, grade 12, you at that point, no one writes diaries anymore. I think girls, you love to write diaries, but boys, we just keep our thoughts to ourselves. We don't write diaries. I've never heard of a boy keeping a diary. Maybe you have a notepad, writing important information, but the diary entry, expressing things that happen, I don't think that ever happened before. Maybe in a movie, but not in reality. So in the diary entry, obviously the first thing I'm going to say is dear diary. If your diary has a particular nickname, then provide your nickname for dear diary. It's okay. So whether it is dear Snookums, it's okay. But we note then you've greeted the diary. Then you also provide the date. Now, grade 12, the date is important. Why? Because you need to provide things, for example, before and after. And now I'm going to show you about the before and after tactic that you should use. Utilize simple and informal language. Remember, you are writing. You're not physically speaking to the diary. So write it down. Tone should reflect suitable emotions, obviously. The moment you express things before and after, we need to see it in the tone. And then please adhere to the word count. Simple and informal language. Very simple. You are writing, you are expressing how you're feeling, but not inappropriate language should be used. So let's practice a diary entry. You have been absent from school for a few weeks. And I'm sure some of us has been absent and we use coronavirus as the excuse. Your mother has informed you that your school principal will be visiting you at home. Scary time in your life, eh? Write 2 diary entries. The first entry must indicate how you felt before the principal's visit, and the second entry must express how you felt after the principal's visit. Very important here, grade 12. Very important. It says before and after. So let's just quickly look at before and after. Before and after can be on the very same day. Mother could have informed you this morning when that the principal is going to come. And then when you indicate after, it was after the principal left. But what they ask of you is how you felt. Feeling is emotion. And emotion is now going to require a proper tone that you are going to use. Right? So now let's analyze. If my principal should come to my school, or the one that I had, obviously there's a sense of fear. So the very first thing I'm going to indicate when analyzing would be I am scared. I am scared. Obviously my principal is concerned about me. And here you need to understand that this is a diary entry, not a dialogue. I am scared for what's going to happen. What he's going to say, what he's going to ask, and how I'm going to respond to what he's saying. So I am scared that he's now coming to my house. That is a feeling I'm indicating before. At the same time, I'm also concerned. I'm concerned that he would come to my house to come and speak to me, which means that my absenteeism has become a problem to the school, and it has become worrisome to the school that I'm not present. But it indicates to me also that the principal and the staff, they care about me. So I feel scared, I'm concerned. I also feel, grade 12, anxious. I feel anxious for what's about to go down. What is he going to say? And what is he going to tell me? I must pack my bags and come to school. So I'm anxious for what is going to happen. So be very careful of how we analyze the before and after. Let's just move on quickly to the after. Or let's just add one more. I think this one could also be there. I am nervous. Right? I am nervous. But if you have a good relationship with your principal, then obviously you could also be excited. Right? So now I move on to after. How do I feel after? I feel so relieved. So relieved. It's over. But I'm also happy at the same time that my school still cares about me and my well-being. So I'm happy that the principal took the time to come and see me. I'm also now linking to relieved, I'm at ease. I'm at ease because I know the principal was only concerned about me. I do not want to give you too many feelings here, grade 12. Why we only focus on 80 to 100 words. And obviously you're going to add the rest of the content indicating that today the principal is going to come and visit me. But coming back to the part where I mentioned this can be on one day, it can also be on 2 days. So I would indicate the following. Let's just erase this. I am going to indicate then the following on my 2 different days. I have dear diary, right? Diary and not dairy. This would be on the 23rd of June. Please indicate the year. Then on the same day, I could also indicate dear diary, 23 June. And those feelings that I've written down now would be an indication there for feeling before, because this is before the principal came. And then obviously this would be after. But the same date. But it can also be on various dates. So it could be, dear diary, 23 June 2020, and then it could be tomorrow, 24 June 2020. Pay particular attention to this. Mom telling me the principal is coming isn't necessarily on the same day. But this is how I'm feeling on this day. So this could have been the 27th of June, also after the principal had left. So pay attention to the topic and know your format. That grade 12 is very important with the diary entry. For you to do this, we said that you need to fart. And to fart means I also need to practice, because practice makes perfect. But like I told you the last time, it also makes permanent. The moment I practice, it's going to stick here. And once it's stuck, all I need to do in that exam venue, I just need to tell my brain, remove that hard drive, let's just use this hard drive, and I'm going to focus on this and write about this. So practice those formats, know the formats, grade 12. In these sessions that we've done for paper 3, I've given you various steps to take. Practicing is important. Know what you're going to write about. And obviously, currently you might be feeling as if everything is just too much for you. Give your best, practice your work, study your work, and you will reap the rewards. So I wish you all of the best with your examinations, and please do not disappoint me in your paper 3. Do not disappoint me or your teacher. Focus on the fact that I don't know the marker, but I'm writing my best essay, my best letter or dialogue or speech, diary entry, instructions, whatever it may be, to ensure that I get the best mark possible. All of the best for the rest of the year, and I know you are going to ace it. Thank you.